Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche pregame show. We got AJ, we got Eric, we got Rudo. We're brought to you by Bet365.
Rudo.
The Avs are taking on the Calgary Flames tonight.
It's just how I hear it in my head sometimes.
Rudo.
Yeah, I just hear like a megaphone. Somebody just shouting, Rudo.
I feel like it's more like a foghorn.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
it makes the right tones.
It's too deep.
You think?
Yeah, it's loud enough, but it's too deep.
Alright.
It's not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's all.
My name's Deep. You heard it here first. Anyway,
He goes deep.
Avs have dropped their last two. Trying to, let's be real, they're 1-2 on this homestand. They kind of need the next two, right?
Yes. You have a 5-game homestand. You can't have a losing homestand.
No.
The schedule is not nearly challenging enough for that bullshit. You need to win this.
Yep.
Not for this team. You know, for a mediocre team, yeah, you can have a bad homestand. I mean,
Yep.
not for this team. This team's too good. This team hasn't been up to its potential. Yeah, they have some injuries. We talked about that all the time. But again, we don't make excuses here, right, on this pod about injuries. It's an opportunity for other people, but yeah, they just haven't been good enough. And they're better than that. And I think tonight you got to show it. You got to treat it like it's a big game. You got to treat it like it's the biggest game of the year because you don't want to go on a 3-game losing streak because now that's the streak, right? 3 is a streak? Is that
Yep.
what
3 is a streak.
3 is
That
a
is
streak.
correct.
So you want to get away from there. You want to do everything in your power to make sure that you get back on track.
Avs do call up Ben Myers. It's not for absolute certain that he's going to play yet, but
Ben Myers time.
he's most likely going to play. It sounds like QB Ranta probably not going to be able to go tonight.
Do it, Ben. Do it, Ben.
Opportunity.
It is. That's exactly the word I was going to use.
You know what? He's earned it. He's been really good for the Eagles.
11 points in the last 9 games down in the AHL.
Really
Yeah.
good for the Eagles. Is this? I'm kind of curious. I just want to ask you guys about this part of it. They gave Riley Tufte first crack. Mm-hmm. He almost made the team. They really liked him. Whatever. Right. Then Kivi Ranta gets a contract and he's just in the games now.
Yeah,
he's just here. Oscar Olauson's next on that
forgot
list.
about Pavel.
I did forget about Andre Pavel for the one game.
It was one game.
Yeah. But, and I, just for my money, if that guy's healthy
might have
enough.
been the best of the bunch, yeah.
If this Frederick Olofsson thing continues,
Yeah.
I think Andre Pavel will find his way back. Oscar Olausson got his turn with it.
Yep.
Is this just Ben Myers getting his turn, or is this purely he's destroying in the AHL right now? We want to see this.
Well, I think it's merit, and I think it's fit, right? I mean, if you're talking about Kivi Ranta, and I know that one's a winger and Ben's been mostly a center, but you can find a way, as we saw last game, to make people as centers. And I mean, I'm not saying it's the best way to do it, but at times it's okay to do it when you have bodies. That's what you do. But I think it's on merit. I think it's on his time. And again, we said it the other day. It should be an opportunity where you're like, I'm never going back down in the minors. And when you
make
go,
a decision.
That's it. Make decisions and don't put pressure on yourself. Just go play your game. Be yourself. Be Ben Myers, but elevate your game and show that you want to be here and you'll never want to go back in the minors.
Been waiting for this day.
Oh, yeah?
It's both.
It's what?
It's both. He always does that to me when I ask him
Does it feel
questions,
good?
So it does feel good.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I think it is kind of both in the sense that it is his turn, but he has earned that turn.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're talking about it with Pavel. Look, Olofsson has not been very good for you. Ben Myers can play 4C.
They healthy scratched Frederick Olofsson and played Curtis McDermott 3.5 minutes over him.
The door is ajar, as we like to put it.
It might just be open at this point,
Yeah, could be.
So
Walk through it, Ben.
yeah, because I mean, can you recall one game over the last 10 that Frederick Olofsson played that you thought that line has been really good.
Nope. Not since LOC was moved off it, basically.
Exactly.
So,
No
opportunity.
watch along at all tonight?
I mean, their show's not going to be done till like the middle of the third period, so.
All right.
AJ wanted it tonight.
I did, man. It's going to be a good one.
Just live stream it on Instagram or something.
Gross.
Doesn't exist anymore. Yeah.
I wish.
FaceTime.
I don't think you can live stream from FaceTime, but
Snapchat.
Snapchat live stream better than
Untool.
OnlyFans, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, let's start a DNVR OnlyFans just so we can live stream stuff.
We'll talk more about the Avs lineup, some other stuff. We'll hear from Bednar from it in a little bit. Eric, 3 keys to get the Avs back on track tonight.
Feel like AJ right now. Pedal to the metal. Number 1. Pedal to the metal. We haven't seen it the last couple games. I think tonight that's the motto. If I'm in the room right now, I'm yelling at everyone before warm up. Pedal to the metal. And it's everybody. This is a game you should win. Stop the bleeding. Put the Band-Aid on and let's go. You don't want to lose 3 in a row. We need everyone. No passengers. Full team effort. Number 2, do your job. Every piece of the puzzle counts. If you're a guy that plays 8 minutes, then do your job for 8 minutes. If you're Mikko and you take a lot of the puzzle, a lot of the pie, then do your job. Get back on track. Just be better individually, and that leads to team success. You know what I mean? No slackers. No slackers. You don't want a missing link in there somewhere, and all of a sudden, like, the chain's not strong. So, number 3, be smarter than your opponent. I think we talked about it last game. Bednar talked about it last game, and he's saying, like, oh, we just have lapses for 10 minutes of the game, and, you know, we play well, and then we get away from our game, and so engage in your team game and at all times, not only for short periods of time. And I'm going back, especially with a team like this tonight, the blue lines, you know what I mean? Like the blue lines, don't turn the puck over. Don't be stupid. Don't throw the puck backwards where it leads to breakaways and penalty shots against. We don't want that tonight. Play the simple game. You might have to play a little tight, and then once it opens up, you have the firepower to kill them. You know what I mean? And then Vladar's in net. Go at him. This is Rudo's favorite goalie in the NHL, Dan Vladar. So
Favorite goalie to play against, maybe.
yeah, there you go. Sorry. So anyway, big one tonight. We'll talk more about it right now, but don't you do those 3 things tonight, you win the game.
I do love your third point here because I think we see the Avalanche do this a lot, where they are an incredibly high talent team. So they do make high-risk plays a lot, and oftentimes when McKinnon's going, when Mikko's going, when they're playing their best, you're just like, yeah, they'll make that work often enough that you live with it. But when you're in a stretch like Mikko's going through right now, when you're in these stretches where you're not producing goals, the decision-making has to be better.
And even look at Kale. Kale's 0
Yeah.
for 3 right now. And I mean, that's a stat I read today. I don't think he's ever done that in his career. That's pretty amazing, though. I mean, think about the consistency. That's pretty amazing.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, flip the switch right now. Like, flip the script. It's pretty amazing that that's his first time ever. He'd be the first one to tell you. He was the first one to say it after the game. That we weren't good enough. I certainly wasn't good enough. And I think we all felt it. I mean, we were there, you and I, right, sitting together. And
Oh, yeah.
he wasn't on. Like, and I thought, if I was going to be a betting man last game, I said, look out, Philadelphia Flyers. Cale Makar's coming. So I'm going to say it again. Look out tonight, Calgary Flames. Cale Makar's coming.
He should be. We do have some conversation from Jared Bednar from Morning Skate today. Doesn't necessarily talk about execution, but certainly the consistency of it. You can roll that tiff.
Well, it's a big part of like their identity for our team. So not that they haven't brought it, but I think the consistency in them bringing it really helps our team amongst everybody else. I think when you look at this most recent one, 'cause I think the first one was a little bit different. We were still working through some significant structural issues and whatnot that had gone well for 6 games and sort of fell apart on us. I think if you look at our overall game, it's more decision-making, puck management that's led to high expected goals against over the last little bit. So I watch our team play structurally versus the rush. You know, when we get even numbers, it's been good. When we go into D zone, I feel like that's been good. It's the scoring chances we're giving up on turnovers and not getting back above pucks early enough in the offensive zone. This sort of second and third effort to reload and get above it to get the numbers where we want them so we can play in the structure of our game has been lacking. It's there for a while, then it's gone. And I feel like, you know, last game, if you just kind of look at it, we're doing some really good things, spending a lot of time in the O zone. The numbers after the game show we spend way more time in the offensive zone than we did in the D zone, and yet the quality of chances that we gave up pressing in the offensive zone and not taking care of the puck properly led to turnovers and odd man rushes against, and it killed us. So there's a lot of portions of our game that I think have taken a big step, but the identity of our team and a staple of our team for years now has been how relentless we are with our back pressure and getting back above pucks and keeping teams on their half of the ice and extending time on their half of the ice, and we haven't been doing that consistently enough. So that's one of the things that we've been talking about, and not pressing, but having the confidence that if we continue to play like we played at the beginning of the third period in the offensive zone, that we'd be able to pick up the equalizer and then some, and not have to try to make something out of nothing in order to win the hockey game.
Bo told me that sometimes from the power play perspective, you just need to get an ugly one to kind of snap you out of a little bit of a slump. Is that something you see as well? It feels like they have been generating chances. Have you been happy with the, effort, or not effort,
Depends on
what they're doing?
Yeah, depends on the night. Like last game, I loved our first power play. I mean, I thought we had 3 or 4 quality chances to score on the first one. The second one wasn't as good. That's all we got. Would it have been nice to put one in the first one? Yeah. I felt like the previous game was the same. First one was our most dangerous, so again, a little bit of consistency, but I mean, being able to just shoot the puck and rebound it and get an ugly goal would help. It doesn't have to be a tic-tac-toe play. There's got to be a little bit more to the rhythm of it, but it's moved in the right direction. If you look at the streak we were on, 8-9 games, we won the special teams battle. Power play scored every night and got us one, and we won 7 of 8, 8 of 9, whatever it was. So it obviously helps when you can pick up a power play goal and win the special teams battle.
With respect to the changes in the lineup that you're trying out, how much of it is a dialogue of players coming to you and telling you what's working and what they're seeing isn't working? And is that an arena you'd like to see them talk to you more?
No. None of it has to do with when I'm going to make, if it's a major change with some of our veteran guys, I'll talk to them about it and kind of tell them why I'm doing it to make sure that they're bought into that change. Like Mikko the other night, there's dialogue. But when I said, I don't talk to the players about their opinion before I set the lineup.
Do you feel like that lack of center depth is making it kind of difficult to shift and try out new combinations?
Yeah, well, we only have 4 centers, so Mikko is an option. It's just, is he better with Mac or without Mac? And do we have the depth to make other lines more dangerous? Like, are we able to move guys around? Are they playing well enough? I think we have the depth. But we do have some guys that are struggling. We got a lot of guys that haven't scored in quite some time, 5-on-5, clearly. So I have to look at chance generation and chance suppression, not just like the goals, because I do feel like on some nights we're doing a really good job at creating offense. Our numbers on the creating offense side of it through the course of the year have been good. They've been really good, actually, in a lot of areas. It's the defending side of it that's hurting us. So now you got to look at making sure you got responsible lines so you can play all 4.
So, Bednar touching on the lack of consistency in the abs and the power play, too.
Yeah.
What's the magic spell? How do you get a more consistent Colorado Avalanche for the rest of this season?
You won't. They're human.
I'm not saying that they'll win every single game. I'm saying, how do you avoid the losing 5 and 7s?
Yeah, it would be nice to see them figure out a way to stem that tide a little bit. I think some of that is you're looking at, as Eric mentioned, Kale McCarr hasn't been very good since he came back.
True.
Mikko Rantanen doesn't have a goal in 9 games. He hasn't beaten a goaltender since November 18th. For the record, he's had a couple of these in his career.
Sure.
And it's been like 4 years. But he has a 14-game stretch, a 10-game stretch, and like an 8 and a 7.
Sure.
But 9 games, I mean, you're talking about your best players here.
It's time for a 7-3 from him.
Yeah.
Which you can do.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, really, like a breakout, like 3 goals, just a dominant performance. The power play looks crisp because it really has not looked good most of this year. It's produced. It's had its moments where that production has been there, of course.
That's where the sentence ends, is it's produced.
Right.
But it's funny to hear him say that, though.
How often have you felt like, oh, the Avs are going on a power play?
Not often.
This thing's going in.
Yeah.
Barely at all
Yep.
this season.
Well, we've been complaining about it, like, you know,
Yeah.
because we get antsy, we get
Yeah.
pissy about what they're doing, but it was funny to hear Rantanen say that too. You know what I mean? Like Mikko was like, "Hey, we haven't been good on the power play.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's produced. It's exact same
Right.
words that we just used. You know,
I think he's growing the hair back, so the moose is back.
Samson powers activate.
the moose.
Exactly.
Just for official lineup stuff, Josh Manson is in for the defensive
Yeah.
side.
Him being
So,
able to go is nice, although I am kind of the
how
why,
much? Yeah.
why push this? Like Caleb Jones is a perfectly adequate fill-in.
Well,
Why push
especially
this?
after what we saw last year, where he tried and clearly could not do it.
Yeah. A guy that's battled so many injury issues the last couple of years. Is there really a need to push it?
Yep.
You know?
I don't think so. Not for a game in
I would just
December,
be into
but-
the idea of that's more Sam Malinsky time.
Well, Malinsky's in, so
Right, but I mean, if you take Josh Manson
I
out,
get it.
he moves
You get more
in.
time, but-
Caleb Jones on your third pair, you know.
You know,
the reality is it's probably more Jack Johnson time. So
You mother. All right. I wish I could be mad about it. He's actually been fine.
he really hasn't been
His
bad.
limitations are his limitations. They always frustrate me, but he continues to be fine.
Yep. Let's go to my bets tonight. I went with the parlay. Went with one of my big ones. We'll see if I can hit another one. Taking the Avs in regulation. I'm taking Calgary under 3.5 goals. I'm taking a Kale assist, and I'm taking the second period being the highest scoring period, plus 1,100 overall. Feel like those first 3 should feel pretty good about. Think you're going to see a good performance out of Georgiev. E already mentioned Kale's. It's coming for Kale.
yeah.
And with those 2 things, the Avs should probably win. Hopefully, they bop them in the second period. That's what I'm going for. Over at Bet365, you can get in on your gambling when you go over to Bet365 and use the DNVR 365 code to sign up. I like that high scoring period bet. It's really good odds. They give you plus a whole bunch of money. If you got a vibe, if you think someone's going to score a lot in a period, jump on it with Bet365.
You know who I think scores tonight?
Who?
It's happening.
Miko?
No.
Myers? Tatar?
It's happening.
Tuna.
It's the night.
Nah, not gonna
tuna
happen.
time.
Not gonna happen. I'm not feeling it. But I bet you get real good odds on it over at Bet365. So go over there, do your thing. Of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. Looking at tonight, Calgary is a team that continues to be somewhere in the middle-ish this year. Not quite as bad as they started, not near as good as they hoped. When you're looking at tonight, what is the key guy the Avs need to shut down?
Well, listen, I'm a big Elias Lindholm fan. I know you guys are too, but he's been okay this year. You know, he hasn't been like he's been the last 4 or 5 years. He's Mr. Everything there. PK. Such a reliable player. I think the contract situation is bugging him. It's really behind them. But there's a reason.
Bugging me too.
Nah, he's bugging AJ, and that bugs me. Then if AJ's buggy, then I get buggy.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. But listen, this guy's a key guy for them. When he goes, he is their engine, and he has been the last few years. And I don't know. I mean, Huberdeau's been lost, and Kadri hasn't been, the greatest. And obviously, Markstrom's out now with a broken finger. They have some holes, right? They traded Big Z, right?
Yep.
So now Tanev's probably the next one. It's an under 500 team. So this is a team that AJ's like salivating.
Bring me
when
Chris
they say
Tanev.
He's like, ah.
Is that what the Avs absolutely need right now? No. Is that what I want?
Yes.
Yes.
So I think this is a team that they do have some good players. Huberdeau's been lost, but this guy, I don't know, he's a good player. I mean,
Yeah.
man, I don't know what to tell you, but he's a good player. He's just been, you just don't want him to find his game tonight, right? I don't know. This is a game the Avs should have. This is a game looking on paper at the below 500 team. At home, you've lost 2. You got to come out with your best game and just absolutely just mop.
Yeah.
It's a good point. It does feel like it's been a while since we've seen the Avs A game. Even in their most recent wins, it feels like, they played well, but not their best.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
When the last time I was like, God, that was a really good Avs game.
Yeah,
Well, 3-2.
I'd have to look at the schedule to really nail it down for you. But been too long, so make it tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Solve that problem. Any final thoughts from you two as we wrap up this pregame show?
No, I'm good.
Good.
No, we shall
Good.
see. We'll talk about it after.
All right.
Just after the game, just put Elias Lindholm in a bag and keep him.
Don't let him go anywhere.
Exactly. You just don't. You're here now.
There's a number of guys you could put in that bag.
You have now.
Doesn't have to be Lindholm, but also that's human trafficking, so don't do that.
What?
AJ does that.
I'm not trafficking him. I'm improving his life.
I'm not even going to touch that one. Nope. We are out of here for the pregame show.
Just
Thank
saying
you, everybody,
trade for
for
the guy.
watching. No watch along because the Nuggets postgame is coming up, but we will be live postgame no matter what happens to break it all down. Maybe it'll be happy times. Maybe it'll be doomer times. Who's to know? But we'll be there for you. We will talk to you after the game.
We all silly like the mayor.